Michelle. Welcome to Math Your Way. Today's lesson is on adding fractions with unlike denominators, and we'll be using the LCD method. The first thing you want to do is recognize that you have two different denominators. This is a 4 and this is a 2 in your denominators. So you have to have a common denominator when you're adding. So over here we're going to find the multiples of 4 and 2. So once we find the multiple, we can find our LCD. And if you do not know how to find the multiples, you can watch my video that I'm going to post at the end of this video. So what I like to do is first do 4 times 1, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So now I have to find the least common denominator, which is the smallest common denominator. So on this one, I have a 4 and a 2, okay? Do I have a 4 on this side? I do have a 4 on this side, and I have a 4 on this side. Therefore, this is my least common denominator, so that is what I'm going to use. When I look in this column at my 4, I multiply 1 times that, so I have to do that to top and bottom. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 4 is 4. And then for this one, which is this column, I multiplied 2 times, so I'm going to have to do that on top and bottom for this fraction. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, so that is my new fraction. And now we can add straight across, keeping the same denominator, so I'm going to write my denominator. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So that is how you add with unlike denominators. And now we're going to try subtracting with unlike denominators. Actually, no, let's do one more problem of adding. So let's do this problem. We have 4 fifths plus 1/3. Alright, so let's look and see what our least common denominator is. So I'm going to get my chart ready. Five times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. And 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 5 is 15. These are my multiples. Okay, this one is for the first fraction, and this is the multiples of the denominator for the second fraction. So now what I need to do is find the lowest or the least or the smallest common denominator. And the smallest common denominator, so I'm going to look at this and I say 5, there's no 5s, 3s, there's no 3s, 6, there's no 6s, 9s, there's no 9s, 10s, are there any 10s? No, there's no 10s on this side. So now I get to 12. There's no 12 on this side. 15. There's a 15. And there's a 15. These two are obviously null and void because I found my least common denominator. So it's 15. So what did I do to the first fraction to get 15? I multiplied by 3. So I have to do 3 times the top and bottom. So 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 5 is 15. The second fraction is this column, and I did 5 times. So I have to times the top and the bottom by 5. 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 3 is 15. Now I keep the same denominator because that's the purpose of finding your LCD. I keep the same denominator, and then I add my numerator. 12 plus 5 is 17/15. So you'll check out the next video as well on how to change fractions from improper fractions, because this is an improper fraction. How to change from improper to proper fractions in my next video I post. But I hope you like, watch, subscribe, like, and share.